Hey there, and welcome to episode 64 of Cast Reflect. I'm your host Josh, and I'm joined today by Carlie McGarity. How you doing? You okay?
Hello. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, it's always so awkward, isn't it? It's just always
Always.
so. Yeah,
I
whenever
can't.
you sub in.
I just can't look at you when you do your
I
intro.
know,
I'm
I
sorry.
know, I know. Just yeah, it doesn't make it easy, but it's fine. That was one take. That was first take.
Was.
Yeah, it's good.
Um,
It's good. You're right. Down in the lounge.
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. You're right there
Good.
in the
Yeah,
attic.
yeah, I'm good. Yeah. How's Lola? She all right?
She's good. She's
Yeah.
chilling.
She's chilling on the sofa.
Yeah, she is. And she's tired now.
Yeah, she had a long day, hasn't she? She had a long day doing
Hard
fuck
work.
all. Hard work being a dog.
It is.
I would ask how you are, but as we live together, I know how you are. So,
You just did as well.
did I?
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean. Like, do the formalities like I do with Conall. You know, how are you? What you been up to? It's a
Yeah.
bit different today because Connell's off in San Francisco, so Carlie is very kindly subbing in again, and everyone loved you, mate. Last time you were on, so you
Oh,
just gotta
sorry,
you
sweet.
got up the ante again now.
No, it's always, well, as I said last time, it's always big shoes when Connor's not here. So,
Yeah. That's
but
good. That's
yeah,
good. We've been playing some games, haven't we?
we
Hopefully,
have.
that's what we're going to talk about in this episode of the podcast. Yeah,
Yeah,
we finished Life is Strange, didn't we?
we
The
did.
other day. Yeah,
Yeah.
first time either of us have ever played it.
Mhm.
And we finished it. When did we finish it? Yesterday, the night before, Friday night, I think
What
it
day
was.
are we? Sunday. Yeah,
Sunday. Yeah.
Friday, wasn't it? Friday night we finished it.
Yeah. What did you think of it?
Yeah, I loved it. I really did enjoy it. I had no idea what it was about, despite how old it is.
Mm,
And yeah, I thought it was really, really cool. Also had no idea there were more in the series. I just thought that
yeah.
was a one-off.
A one-off.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
that was, cool to
A
find
pleasant
out. It was
surprise. Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously the new one's out next month. Well, like the Max Caulfield.
Yeah,
Uh,
the sequel to Her Story, isn't it, is out, yeah, in October,
mm,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
I
awesome.
thought it was really cool. Very heavy.
It is really heavy, yeah. Yeah, it's so depressing. Like, I don't want that to put people off playing it because it's really good, but there's just moments in it that are fucking pretty bleak, aren't in there, like, it's quite the themes are quite heavy in it, aren't they? But
Yeah,
it
each chapter, there's not really like a light moment, I'd say. Like every chapter deals with like a different heavy topic.
yeah, I'd say there are definitely, like, moments in it, like, you know, between certain characters, but yeah, they ultimately lead to a sort of like pretty heavy finale of each episode, right?
Yeah, like each overall theme in an episode, sorry, is what I meant. Like
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
feels very heavy. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it and I can't wait to play the sequel.
Yeah, it's amazing, and it's I've said to you hundreds of times since we started playing it about a month ago, like, it's one of those games that's always been on my list of
Mm.
games I know I need to play and just never got round to it, but yeah, I'm so glad we finally played it because it's fucking brilliant. It's really well written, it's really well voice acted, the music's great in it, the art style's great in it, even though it looks like of its time now. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Like, it's not like really dated or aged badly, but it's just it's good enough for those sorts of like narrative driven kind of telltale style games, you know what I mean? Like The Walking Dead and The Wolf Among Us and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
definitely. I
yeah.
feel like it just kind of adds to the story. Like the start, like I never at one point when we were playing it was really thinking about how it looked because I was so
Mm,
engrossed in the story.
exactly.
So
Exactly.
yeah, it never really even crossed my mind about how it looked.
Yeah. Because for the large part, graphics don't fucking really matter when it comes to video games. Like, they
No,
do matter, but not you don't have to have super high fidelity graphics to make a game good.
no, it's
Which
all about how it plays, isn't it?
yeah, the story and how it plays, yeah. Yeah. I've been playing Black Myth Wukong,
Mm.
and I think I could do like a whole like, I think I could just talk about this game on my own. Just
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I could do a video for Reflect just talking about that game because it's so I'm so just confused by it and how I feel about it. There's like I won't go into spoilers or anything, but I'm at the last boss. I was playing it about 5 minutes ago before we started recording. Um, and I just like it's a beautiful looking game. The sound's great. The world is really great. The enemy design is great.
Mm.
It's just it's just really, really let down by some really flawed combat.
Right.
Not your everyday kind of just beating the shit muncher enemies up. It's the bosses that where
Yeah.
some of them are just so stupidly broken and really, really difficult, but not in a fun kind of from software kind of way. I didn't wanna compare it to From Software game because,
It's like
like,
the token.
yeah, it's just a bit lazy, but it's definitely a Souls-like, you have, uh, bonfires. We'll call them
Yeah.
bonfires because everyone calls them bonfires, but they're basically checkpoints where you rest and then the enemies respawn, but you can, level up and upgrade your armor, upgrade your weapons, blah, 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 blah. But it just got to the point, like, towards the end of the game, but about 2/3 halfway to 2/3 through, where I was just getting anxious about a boss and not in, like, a good, like, "Oh, I'm apprehensive," like, "Oh, I'm really excited to do this boss." It was just like, I'm dreading this being the last boss I try before I just delete the game. Do
Oh,
you know what I mean?
yeah, I must say it has seemed like you've had a very love-hate relationship with it the whole time
Yeah.
you've been playing it. It just sounds like it's more down to how it controls, and like you were saying, weren't you, about the
It's just a couple of mechanics are really poorly designed in it, and I don't wanna shit all over the game because it's done really well. It's sold like 18 million copies, which is fucking incredible,
it's
and fair
amazing.
play to, Game Science for putting it out, it's a proper feels like a AAA game.
Hmm.
Like, it's just lacking some polish in the sort of combat mechanics and some of the boss designs just it feels like, "Oh, let's make this boss really difficult for the sake of it because we wanna be a hard
Mm.
game." A
A
bit
bit
like
lazy.
Hollow Knight does that for me sometimes, like, I really like Hollow Knight, and I know people love it, so I wanna wind anyone up, but that game is so try hard at being hard sometimes. It's like, you don't have to make your game really, really difficult for it to be good. Like, that From Software games don't do that. Like, that's
Mm.
not what makes From Software games good. So you don't need to one up them by making your game really, really difficult. Do you know what I mean? Because it gets to the point where I've got to multiple times with Black Myth where I'm like, I just don't know how many more times I can try this. But
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, did you say you can't even parry in
so yeah, there is a parry, but it's a spell, so you can only do it X amount of times,
oh, right.
and it's the parry window is so short, which is fine. I can get that, but also the parry doesn't really work against a lot of bosses. Like, it won't stagger the bosses like a normal parry, so it just sort of makes it null and void when you're doing the really difficult fights.
Oh,
And the dodging
that
doesn't
was
have
it, yeah.
any yeah, the dodging doesn't have any iframes, really. It has, like,
Mm,
half a second of an iframe, and then you have to actually wait a second before you can dodge again. So if a boss is doing, like, a big whirlwindy style, combo where he's swinging his swords
mm,
around, you can nail the first dodge, but you can't dodge quick enough to dodge the next one. So you just get hit anyway, and it's a bit like,
yeah,
well, you've made this really difficult because of bad game design. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's a bit tight.
and there's other things in it, like, so there's
He's
quite
let
often
loose
like a
now.
there's it's because it's fresh in my mind. I think this is all fair criticism. Like, I don't want to come on here and,
Yeah,
like, criticize the fuck out of it because I have enjoyed a lot of it. I'm more just disappointed that it's these kind of little things that have let it down for me because it could have been
Mhm.
a really, really great game, and I'm not sure why it was getting 8s and 9s. I know scores are arbitrary and video games are subjective, but there's legitimately bad design elements in that game. Like, I can't objectively bad design elements, and it's a bit frustrating because it's just yeah, I don't wanna sit here and, like, slate it 'cause
Yeah.
I've played it, I'm on the last boss. There is a secret ending I'm aware of, but you've gotta do another section and a few more bosses, and I'm just not asked. Like, I've
No,
had
that's
I've had my fun with it, I guess. I've
Have
had my
you?
fun with it. I've done, like, 30 hours, 35 hours, so, like,
Yeah.
I feel like maybe their next game will be the one where they refine it and it becomes, like, this truly great video game, but
Yeah, well, you know what we should have got instead, which has been getting really good reviews?
Astrobot
Yeah.
Astrobot has been getting excellent reviews. Sony can make platformers, mate. Sony can make
Yay.
platformers. Yeah, I'm really happy about this. I'm so happy about this. It looks phenomenal, and, I can't wait to play it, man. I can't wait to play it.
I'm
Looks
so
great, doesn't it?
excited. The amount of willpower to not have played it yet has
Yeah.
been strong. I
Yeah.
mean, I've had nothing but glowing reviews
Mm.
for it. It looks like a love letter to Sony,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
also, does it, like, solidify Sony's mascot?
Well,
So
this is the thing, like, have we finally exercised the Sackboy, so like, mascot?
R.I.P. Sackboy. I wonder if he's in the game.
Well,
I'm
don't forget
looking.
as well, Sackboy is the 5th most iconic video game character of all time, according to BAFTA's survey, so, yeah, it's big shoes to fill for Astrobot. Fucking
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Like, reports, isn't there, of it being, like, game of the year, and I think I read it had, like, 9.5 universal claim on Metacritic.
Yeah, which is insane, which is absolutely insane, but,
Yeah, there's only one, don't know if you saw on Twitter, I think it was, like, early this week, might have been last week, but my brain's all muddled up, but the, Days Gone former director did a
oh,
like,
yeah,
salty
yeah.
tweet about Deacon.
What, being in one of the characters as yeah, as
Yeah,
being a cartoon character inside a video game.
I think he was like
Yeah.
in his words, he was like, "It's been reduced to promoting other games," as in, like,
Well
Deacon has been, reduced to promoting other games.
well, yeah, I mean, no one else kicked off about their characters being in it. I think it's just like you said, it's a love letter to the PlayStation ecosystem, isn't it? And all its first parties, basically, which should be celebrated, not shat
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
So,
I think he got a lot of backlash for it, so
well,
but
he can
already.
keep that one anyway. Like, the game looks fucking brilliant. I weirdly, I
Mm.
said when the trailer came out that it looked like a Mario game. It
I remember
looked
you
like a Mario
saying.
game, and that was the best compliment I could pay it. And now it seems to be delivering, and I'm really happy that it's reviewed as well as it looked. Do you know what I mean? I can't wait to
Yeah.
play it. I
Oh,
can't wait to play it. I'm torn between getting it now and probably when we get back from Japan because we're going obviously to Japan in a few weeks. But I think maybe
yeah.
a nice little Christmas game maybe we could play together. Yeah, because it looks fucking
Yeah.
awesome.
I think, to be honest, going to Japan's probably the only reason we haven't got it yet. I think
Yeah, yeah,
trying to
yeah,
be
yeah.
trying to be sensible.
Exactly, exactly. Try and save a little bit of money. Yeah, yeah.
Even though,
We can get we'll get some cool Japanese shit, and then we'll get Astro Bot when we get back. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not going anywhere, so
No, no, exactly.
it'll be, something to look forward to. It'll kind of break the, soften the blow a bit
Yeah, it will. It will absolutely
coming
soften the
home.
blow from coming back.
That and seeing Lola.
Yeah, that and seeing Lola. Yeah, yeah. Next bit we got is the Minecraft movie. I wanted to just bring this up very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
The trailer for this. My
Oh.
nephew Toby loves it. Loves the look of it.
No,
He
I
can't
thought
wait.
you'd slate it.
No, no. I know he's quite harsh for an 8-year-old, but,
He's brutal.
yeah, but he likes it, he likes it. He likes Jack Black. And I guess it's aimed at kids. I'm not really
Yeah.
sure, like, to me, it looked really jarring seeing that kind of animated world, but then with real live action people in it. Do you know what I mean? I found it quite weird to look at. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think I saw online it had, like, more than 1,000,000 dislikes on the trailer,
Oh god, I know.
so we're not alone in our thoughts there, but yeah, I don't know, I
Yeah.
mean,
Again, I don't
I
wanna shit on it because, like, that's not what we do on this podcast
no,
anyway, but,
exactly, I mean, I don't really have
I've
much
never really played Minecraft anyway.
so I played it a lot, I think when I was in, like, my 2nd year of uni, and
Yeah.
I, like, rinsed it on creative mode because I was never really asked about playing,
Mm.
like, it in survival,
Yeah.
but, I enjoyed it and stuff, and, like, I loved, like, going into, like, servers and, like, building shit with people. I found
Yeah.
that really
Yeah.
fun. And also you never know, like, 'cause I saw, like, a lot of people were complaining about how it looked, and it kind of just made me think of Sonic when that trailer first dropped. Like, do you remember how he looked?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
And
yeah,
they,
yeah,
like
well, he looks really weird, didn't he? Yeah.
yeah, and I again, when I first saw that trailer, I was like, "Oh god, no, that looks terrible, and probably won't watch that." Then they dropped the second one, and then I went and watched it, and I absolutely loved it,
I
and
really like the Sonic movies, yeah.
they're so
Yeah.
good, I cannot wait for the third one. I love
Do you know what
Shadow, so
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
he's
gonna be
he's class.
there day
And it's
one
Keanu
release.
Reeves as well, isn't it? It's Keanu
Yeah.
Reeves, so
I can't wait.
yeah.
It's gonna be
I
us and a
think
bunch of kids in that
Yeah, yeah,
screening.
basically, yeah, yeah.
So, yeah,
I
I
th
mean, I don't know. I don't wanna, like, shit on it because I don't think it's really for me anyway, like, in terms
Nah,
of
nah,
who it's aimed at, but
yeah. I mean, I have 0 affinity with Minecraft. What I would say
mm,
about the Sonic comparison is that, like, Minecraft, the world is computer generated and the characters are humans, whereas Sonic's the other way round, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? They've got,
yeah,
like,
that's
a
true.
computer generated character, and it does look weird, but you sort of get used to it, so maybe if you went and watched Minecraft, you might get used to
Mm,
that kind of look and feel of it. I think they could
yeah,
do some really cool stuff with it in terms of, manipulating the world, but yeah, fucking hell, they must have just
mm,
shot that in front of a green screen, like,
yeah.
every single day, but
I think it as well just kind of, like, poses the question of should it have just been an animated movie in the first
yeah,
place? Like,
yeah,
was live action really needed for that? If they
yeah,
really wanna do a Minecraft movie, but
we'll
yeah,
see.
I don't know.
We'll see
We'll
what happens.
see. It was really jarring though when, like, Jack Black steps out at the
I
end.
know he's become,
It's like,
like, that
"What?"
guy, like, in the adventure films, hasn't he, again? It's
He's just
quite
a video game movie man now, isn't it? 'Cause
Yeah,
he was Claptrap in Borderlands
yeah.
and
Anything else he's
obviously,
done?
Bowser
Oh, yeah, of
in
course, yeah, he was
Mario.
Bowser, yeah, yeah. Maybe he'll have a cameo in Sonic 3.
Oh, no.
So,
God.
we had quite big news as well, this week before we recorded, and that was the PS5 Pro
Oh,
getting
yeah.
announced. Um, I mean, I just don't really know who this is aimed at, to be honest. The price point's weird.
It's a
It
lot.
doesn't come with a disk drive. It comes with a 2 terabyte hard drive. It obviously looks amazing, but I won't be buying one. Not for 700 quid,
Oh,
plus the 80 quid for a disk drive, which is, it's gonna be doesn't even have a stand with it.
no.
Like,
I mean,
you're looking at 800 quid before, like, when you've got everything to be able to play all the games that I've got or that we've got.
yeah. I mean, personally, just for having, like, a PS5, I've no need. Like,
No.
it doesn't, like, really it hasn't persuaded me to go out and drop another 800 quid
No, even if
on
even
that
if we got
console.
300 quid for the PlayStation 5 that we've got downstairs, it's like, well, yeah, but 500 quid, and then you got to fucking clip a disk drive onto it, and like that. So
Yeah,
the only reason I think people might get one of these is because of GTA. Like, that is,
yeah,
I can honestly, I can't think of another reason why you'd get one, because unless you're a graphics snob, which is fine,
Mm.
that's allowed. But I always play every game on performance mode, 60 frames, because it just feels so much better. It does look beautiful. Some of the games look fucking beautiful. It's funny how they were showing The Last of Us Part 2, which is just like a PS4 game on the PS5 Pro. I know they did, add the textures and things and the upscaling for the PS5 version, but it's hilarious how much they lean on Naughty Dog for these things because their engine's just so good.
Yeah.
Their fucking video game engine's incredible.
God bless
Their
Naughty
games
Dog.
always look amazing. Yeah, I know. Just like you, like Last of Us Part 1 and 2 are getting remade for fucking PlayStation 6 eventually, don't you, as well? That's what's gonna happen. It's like, just do Uncharted, come on, like, just we need Uncharted, like, let's have those remade.
Or a new IP, that would be fun.
Yeah, a new IP would be nice. Anyway, getting a bit
No,
sidetracked, but
no,
yeah,
no. I
it's
mean, to me,
really
the main selling point is like you said, it's no longer having to choose between performance and fidelity. Apparently, the dynamic ray tracing supposed to be better,
yeah, they've got
but
this AI-driven upscaling as well, which is PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, an AI-driven upscaling that uses a machine learning-based technology to provide super sharp image clarity by adding an extraordinary amount of detail. I mean, it's to me, it's all, it's just it it's basically you can play the games that you've already got in 4K at 60 frames, like,
yeah.
if you want it, but it costs 800 quid.
Would you get one if you hadn't already had a PlayStation 5?
Nah,
Would you still
nah,
just get the base one
just
and
get the
not
PlayStation 5, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I
I
mean,
guess yeah. So it is a big price gap, I think. I mean, I can't remember because I never had a PS4 Pro, so I can't really remember what the gap
no,
between
I've never had a Pro model. I think it only really
no.
started, didn't it, in PlayStation 4 anyway,
Yeah.
but a big part of it for me is, like, I think I might have mentioned this to you the other day, it might have been someone at work, so the graphical jump between PS4 and 5 is obviously big, but I just feel like I'm at a point now where games just they look ridiculous anyway, and I know they
Mm,
can always look better, and I know the PS6 will come out and it'll be like, "Wow, look how realistic this looks." But the jump from the PS3 to the PS4 was just that was kind of the biggest jump I can remember. Do you know what I mean? In terms of visual fidelity.
yeah.
And I'm happy. I'm at a point now where I'm just happy that games look like the way they do. Do you know what I mean? Like
Mm,
Horizon looks amazing. Like Ghost of Tsushima was a PS4 game. That looks ridiculous still on the
yeah.
PS5.
I always
And that's
forget
like
that's
using
so
the Pro, like the PS5 Pro. Like I'm
yeah.
sure if we got one, I'm sure it would be amazing being able to play games at 4K, you know, 60 frames minimum. Like that would be amazing, but I don't ever find myself playing a game now and being like, "I wish I could play this in the 4K mode." Do you know what I mean?
No, 'cause I'm the same as you, I play mainly in performance. I think it was only Final Fantasy Rebirth where I didn't, just because I
Yeah.
never noticed the difference, which was mental, but I was rolling with it, I
Yeah, but
wasn't
if
gonna
you're
ever
happy
change it,
I
just in
think if
case.
you're happy with the experience, it doesn't matter, does it really? It
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
that's true. But, yeah, I don't sit there and think, "Oh, I wish this game looked better because 'cause
That's what I
I'm in
mean.
performance." Like, it still looks stunning,
Yeah.
and I'm just it's not I think what I'm trying to say is, without waffling on, is it's not taking away anything from my gaming
No,
experience
exactly,
by it
exactly.
being how it is in the base PS5.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, for that alone, I'm like, I think I'll just save myself the 300, 400 quid.
I think
Um,
if it was 600 quid maybe with the disc drive.
yeah,
I
what's
know it's like, "Oh, ideal world, yeah, we can just charge it for 600 quid, of course," like, then I'd be like, "Well, maybe we can sell our PS5 for 300 quid and then, get a PS5 Pro." But I just don't need it. I just don't need it.
oh,
And I don't think many other people do based on what I've read and seen. It's just I think it's probably just easy enough for Sony just to whack a new graphics card in there, whack a new processor in there, and then just fucking design it and ship it. Do you know what I mean? It's not like a new console. The markup must be fucking insane on it anyway. So, but we'll see. We'll see. It'd be interesting to see how many they sell, like between now and like next year, like in a year's time. Last piece of news is Concord. It's not really news anymore because it was like 2 weeks ago, but this is fucking mad. Um, so it's been shut down effectively. I don't want to go too into this because it's just sad, but
Yeah,
yeah, 11 days it lasted before it was the servers were shut down and sales ceased for it. I just feel really bad for the devs, to be honest. I feel like the trailer at Summer Game Fest gave me mixed vibes, if I'm honest. It felt
yeah,
like a new kind of action adventure game, a single player one.
yeah, definitely.
Very Guardians of the Galaxy, I think, and then they showed that sort of a second part of the trailer, which made it look more like a just a well, mate, it showed the game, which was a 5v5 kind of hero shooter, um, which was quite disappointing for me, really, because I thought it looked really cool, and then they kind of jumped to the gameplay, and I was like, ah, that's a shame. I was just a bit bummed out by it because I'm like, there's so many of these games, which is kind of what we're going to talk about as the main topic, isn't it? You know, did this is the reason this game failed because A, it wasn't marketed very well, and B, because it doesn't really do anything particularly different or unique. Do you know what I mean?
No, I mean, I guess if you think like it's already quite an oversaturated market, I think now with like online
Mm.
shooters, and it's going up against something, I guess, like Overwatch, which is massive and
Yeah, yeah,
free, and people are probably played so much of that. Why would they suddenly switch to a game which is 40 quid?
yeah. This
Um,
is the thing. Yeah, the price
yeah,
point was a huge. I think it was a huge reason why no one
mm,
brought it. Really, was because it was 40 quid, and I don't think it was marketed very well, to be honest. It was
nah,
40 quid, and then again, it didn't. I didn't play it. I should be straight up. I didn't play it, but I did watch a few videos on it in preparation for the podcast, and I was just curious because of it being shut down, and it didn't look like it did anything particularly unique or interesting mechanically. And like you said, if you've got a game that an online game that you play with your mates or whatever, or you play competitively, there's a lot of games out there that do that already. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like you said, Overwatch to like Apex, Counter Strike, even like League of Legends and Dota, that sort of thing. Are you gonna spend 40 quid on this new game to, to basically play something that's inferior to what you're already playing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I think if anything, it should have been free for like PS Plus subscribers or something. Like,
Well,
I
that's
think,
always worked quite well for Sony, particularly.
yeah,
Like you look at Rocket League, that was an absolute masterstroke putting that on PlayStation Plus. The game,
yeah,
the day it came out, it was the free game for that month.
yeah.
Same as Fall
Full
Guys as
price,
well.
yeah. That's what I mean. I feel like that's what Concord should have done, and I think more people would have
Yeah.
played
And
it.
I know you can't always put your game out for free and rely on microtransactions and things like that. It is a big risk, but it is a working strategy. Do you know what I mean? And
Mm,
it has been for a long time now, like a good 5, 6 years really. Basically since
yeah,
Fortnite kind of pioneered it, I'd say.
yeah,
Um,
definitely. I just think it's like you said, it's sad for the people that worked on it because
yeah, exactly.
their game just got put in the graveyard. Like, what was it? Say 2 weeks after
11 days it
11
was like.
days.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, just
I
makes
mean, the blog posts they put up about it, like, they didn't say it's shutting down, it's cancelled. It sounds like it because 'cause they've ceased sales, but they've said that, we're gonna kind of reassess the options and see where we can take this game,
that's cool.
which I think probably points to let's make a battle pass, let's make it free, and
Yeah,
because we've made the game now, so we've spent the money. So why don't we just fucking release it for free and then, you know, make microtransactions, like make money through microtransactions and battle passes. If the game is good and they believe in it, which you'd think they would, considering it was a Sony published game, you know.
Yeah.
If it, like you
Exac
said, if it was free on PlayStation Plus, like I probably would have downloaded it. You know, Conall probably would have downloaded it. A few of our mates would have, and we could have had a go on it. And it might get you in, and you're like, "Fucking hell, this is actually like bags of fun." Like
Yeah,
it's free. You know, you don't have to buy the battle pass yet. You know, it is a
yeah,
working model. It is a working model, but they kind of landed in the middle, didn't they?
yeah, absolutely. I think it was I think it was just, like, bad timing
Yeah,
and
yeah,
just badly marketed.
yeah. I agree. I agree. Well, seeing as it doesn't do anything particularly unique, I thought we could have a quick chat about, video games that do really unique things mechanically, or games that maybe pioneered their genre or changed the sort of shape of their genre. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Um, are there any examples of video games that you think have really pushed the medium at all? Like,
Like, in terms of mechanics?
yeah, like mechanically, because I feel like there's a glut of similar video games at the moment. Do you know what I mean? And Concord kind of fell into that category, and I'm like, like, I don't know. Do you feel like there's like how do you feel about the? Let's rephrase it into two questions. Like, how do you feel about the amount of video games that are released these days? Like, do enough of them do unique things for you, or because it's never been easier to? Or, sorry, I say it's never been easier. It's never been more accessible to make a video game, right?
Mm. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, how do I feel about an excess like, I guess, I feel like 2024 has been a mixed year for gaming
Mm.
overall, like, when I try and think about it, and I think I think that's a mix of doing I think that's a mix of, like, all the layoffs, like the closure of
Yeah, yeah,
studios. I think that's probably, like, perhaps overshadowed new releases a little bit.
yeah, yeah. It's been really difficult, hasn't it? Like it's been so
Yeah,
turbulent this year.
like, I feel like normally there's a bit more of a buzz around releases,
Mm.
but this time, like this year especially, I feel like it's sort of almost been brief or quite overlooked. Like, I feel like Astrobot was probably the first game in a long time which I saw a lot of online hype about
Mm.
since, like, Elden Ring probably,
Well,
like,
I think it was quite a
terms of it.
surprise as well, Astrobot. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, it was quite a surprise. I think people obviously were keen to play it, but maybe didn't realise how good it was gonna be, which is
yeah,
always really nice as well.
yeah, definitely, but, yeah, I do feel like, when we watch, like, Gamescom or, like, Summer Games Fest, most of the time, a lot of the games will merge into one for me, which sounds really bad, but,
Yeah.
like,
No, no, I know
sometimes
what
it
you
just
mean.
feels
Yeah.
like they're, like, trying to hammer through so many games, and it's like, "Fuck, I can barely keep up as it is," let alone when you're
Yeah.
just getting loads shoved down your throat in, like, a short space of time, and it's really cool, don't get me wrong, I don't want that to sound like a negative thing because I love
No, no, no.
watching that all, but honestly, like, I can't keep up, like, with how much
Yeah,
comes
yeah.
out. I feel like I
There's a
miss
lot,
stuff
isn't there?
all the time.
Yeah.
Like, even now I'm thinking like, "Oh my god, I've got so many games I need to play."
Yeah.
Like, I literally make Google Docs now of I, like, keep a
Yeah,
list on
same.
there because I can't
Same. I've got to have a
Whereas
list now. I've got to have a list of games that I'm playing, games that I wanna play, games that are coming out, and then I've got to move them around when they come out, and I'm like, "Fucking hell," like, it's just so hard to fit in the time to
yeah,
play these games, like, it's
like,
crazy.
honestly, like, when I think back, um and, like, when I was a kid, I wouldn't even be thinking about how many games are out. I'll just go into game, and
No.
then
I
I spend probably, like, I don't know, however long we had to spend in there looking at games, pick one and not I won't sit there and think, "Oh, fuck, what am I missing out on?" I'll just be like, "Oh, this looks cool, I'm gonna play that." But now I don't know. I
yeah,
don't know if it's how we consume games
yeah,
and media in general, but I'm just, like, always thinking, like, I'm missing out on stuff. Like, only recently I heard about was it Lorelei and the Laser Eyes?
yeah,
And
yeah.
I saw that, and I was like, "Oh my god, that looks sick." and that came out, was it last month or so? I don't even know, that's really bad, but, I was like, "That looks so cool," and that completely passed me by, so then it just makes
Yeah,
me
so
paranoid
many.
because 'cause I'm like, "Well, what else have I missed that I'm not playing?" And not only that, like you say, games are accessible, like, you've got Kickstarter games now which get
Yeah,
funded, which is amazing, like, I sent one to you earlier actually called Chef RPG. That looks so fun.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, and
like yeah, so I've kind of forgotten your previous
no,
question.
it's
We've
alright,
gone off on
it's
an
cool,
absolute
no, it's
tangent,
cool,
but
that's what we want, man, that's what we want. But, like, so for me, I think it's that it's 2 things. One, indies are just huge now. So, like, there's and when I said the accessibility, it's like it's I don't mean easy as in, oh, it's a really easy thing to do, but it's easy enough for people to create a video game now. Like, it's accessible. A small team, you and I could learn how to do it and make our own video game, do you know what I mean?
yeah.
So there's so many indies now, which is amazing, and I love
Mm,
how varied the kind of video game landscape is now as a whole, because with indies, you get these sort of 4 or 5 hour, 6 hour experiences that are like just wouldn't get that years and years ago, do you know what I mean? And I'm so
yeah.
grateful for that, but with that comes, like, this fucking wave of new video games that you really wanna play.
Yeah.
Things like Tunic, for example, or like Celeste, do you know what I mean? These tight like Cocoon, they just take up time. Do you know what I mean? They're amazing, but
Mm,
they take up time, and it adds up over time as well. That
yeah.
and the other thing is that AAA games just seem to be so much longer now than they used to be. Like, the
Yeah.
length of the game it takes, like, even Black Myth, it's fucking 35 hours, which is so long, which is a long time to play a video game. God of War is 40 hours, you know what I mean? Horizon's 40 hours. Even Uncharted 4, is 15 hours. Last of Us Part 2 is 15
Yeah.
to 20 hours. Like, some single player campaigns are, you know, like Doom and Wolfenstein, they're like 12 hours, which I'm not complaining. I think it's great that, like, your games have got a good length to them, but it does make it hard to pick and choose, especially when there's so many video games that come out now. It sounds like we're moaning about it. I'm not moaning about it. Like, it's great to have choice. It's almost just overwhelming for our sort of demographic, working full time. I just miss the days when I was like 18, 19, and I was like working a part-time job at a fucking restaurant. I'd go through Ross's like PS3 library, pick a game, play it to completion, then just pick another one. Like, and I used to fly through them, man. Now I feel like I spend like a month on a fucking entire game.
I don't know, I feel like you're pretty quick. I mean, you're not like I mean, I I can't I can't say anything because 'cause I'm like the world's slowest
But I think
person.
you enjoy like I would rather be like you in that instance. I feel like I have to consume video games like a greedy pig because I'm worried about missing out on the next thing or not having time to play the next thing. And part of that is because obviously we do the podcast, so it's quite nice to play new games to chat about
Mm.
that on the pod. But like you listen to Conall, like Conall just fucking potters along, mate. Like he's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I've just been playing this new indie and like it's really good. I've been playing it on the train and I'm like, yeah, I've put 30 hours into fucking Black Myth Wukong and I don't even fucking like it that much. Like, why? Why have I done this?
You just need to be more Conall, Josh. Just
I know, yeah, just
take
be
it
more
in the
Conall.
stride, yeah, just
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
no rush, they're not going anywhere, but you're just like
But they're not going anywhere, and that's part of the problem is, like, they're not going anywhere, they're fucking mountains just piling up, like, the longer I leave it, the more I have to chisel away at it just to keep it at, like, a respectable level, and then I
Yeah.
thought it'd be a good idea to write this list at work the other day, and I was like, "That's just made me feel worse." Like, that's not even all the games that I could think of, they're just ones off the top of my head, and it's, like, 30 games deep, I'm like, "This is ridiculous." I just need to do this for a living full time, ideally. But
That's
that's
the
the plan,
dream.
isn't it? That's the plan eventually to just do it
Yeah, I
together for a
mean,
living.
I'm years behind you. Like, when I like, look where I'm still at with what I've gotta play.
Yeah, but
Like, it's
it's alright, you're happy. Look at me, I'm a shell. I'm a shell because 'cause I'm doing this and not playing video games. It's quite sad really, isn't it?
You
No,
are.
I'm kidding. I'm
You
kidding,
you know,
obviously.
you're, like, so funny when you come home from work, 'cause it's
I'm like, "Right, let's do
literally
dinner, let's clean up, let's get showered, and then sit down,
military
watch an
operation, like,
episode of The Bear or something," and then
yeah,
yeah.
if we have to, if we're a bit behind schedule, you're like, "No, we're skipping that. I've got my clothes ready for work, and I'm going up, and I'm playing games, and don't disturb me."
That makes it sound like we don't hang out. That's not true. That is not
Oh,
true,
we
generally
do.
speaking.
We played Life is Strange together,
Yeah,
so you
we've
know.
yeah, watched TV, watched loads of stuff. I don't know
Yeah,
why we're going into our what we do in terms of hanging out.
just trying to justify.
Yeah, yeah, just try and justify the amount of games I play, yeah.
No, it's good. I wish I could play more, but I'm just yeah. I mean, Final Fantasy Rebirth took a long time for me.
Yeah. Yeah, but you weren't that you know, you didn't play it that much longer hour-wise than I did. I think you just didn't play it as frequently, did you?
No. I think Tears of the Kingdom is a good example of the pace that we play, 'cause you
Yeah, well that
you
w
streamlined through that, like, oh my god, you were like, 70 hours?
well, that weirdly brings us on to the, video games that have really pushed the medium though, or unique mechanically,
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
that's
And
true.
that and you're right, I did but Zelda is my favorite video game series, so I was always gonna blitz through that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I was done in like 70 hours and you were like 150, 160 hours, like just doing everything. I was like, no, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna go for it.
I remember eventually, because like, obviously, we only played handheld for spoilers, and then once you completed it, I was like, "Okay, cool, I'll take it to the TV now."
Yeah.
And, you'd just come in and be like, "What's this? What you doing?" It'd be like some sort of side quest, and you'd be like, "Oh, I didn't do that."
Never
And
seen that.
it just
Never seen that.
became a bit of like a reoccurring thing with you. You need to go back and, like, tick a load of stuff off, but
Well, I did Breath of the Wild twice, so maybe I'll do Tears of the Kingdom twice. No, honestly,
no.
the thought of playing that game again, I fucking love it to pieces, but after writing that list, honestly, that list is haunting me now. Just always thinking about the next game to play, and it's like I need to just slow down and enjoy what I'm playing.
You do. But yeah, so
But
go
yeah,
for it.
I mean, just sort of quickly to finish off, like video games that have really, done stuff uniquely, like mechanically unique. I think Tears of the Kingdom's a great example, and Breath of the Wild. Really, I almost sort of see those as like two little peas in a pod, really. But they kind of they kind of really changed open world games, didn't they? Like massively.
Massively, yeah. I think it's just the whole you choose your path, like, if you wanna go and fight the last boss straight away, go for it.
Yeah,
It's
you
not a good
literally
idea,
can.
but yeah, it's just so immersive. Even, like, the cooking system and, like, the weather conditions, like, you think like Red Dead Redemption 2, like, the weather conditions and stuff was then, I feel like, influenced from Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
just genius. I mean, I could sit and
We could do a special on Zelda easily, easily. I mean,
mm,
it's definitely one of the like it and Elden Ring, like, used a lot of what Tears Breath of the Wild did anyway, in terms of its open world, changing how you traverse and where the set path is or there is no set path, that sort of thing. And
yeah,
it's just made, if open world games do that a lot more, then I think that's the natural progression of an open world game rather than having
yeah.
a Ubisoft style map with, 100 points of interest on and 100 collectibles already on there. It's like
Oh,
just give me like a piece of the map and let me discover this world like on its own. Do you know what I mean? Let me just figure this out because I want
mm,
to do it in my own way. It's like if you want to do
yeah,
that, play a linear game. Like if you want people to follow a set path, just or have a mode where you can turn all the shit off, basically. Do you know what I mean? Just have a mode where it's just like you just turn that off, and then you can uh, you can just explore naturally. Are there
Yeah.
any other games that you can think of or that you've got written down?
So I don't know if they're quite right with what you kind of had in mind, but I think initially, like, Portal 1 and 2 in terms of, like, unique
Oh,
game
yeah.
mechanics, like, that came to mind, like, straight away.
Yeah,
Um,
massive.
in terms of, like, a platform, like Mario Galaxy, with how you,
Yeah,
like,
Galaxy.
navigated around the planets and stuff like that. I just thought that was super, super
Oh,
cool.
mate, it's incredible to go from, like, the sort of 3D world of Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Sunshine, and then to just basically make the whole level, like, actually three-dimensional. It
Yeah,
was and that's still, in my opinion, it's the best Mario game anyway, is Super Mario Galaxy. It's fucking genius. It's so
yeah.
fucking good, man.
I just love
So
that,
good.
and then keeping with, like, Nintendo, um, WarioWare was another one I
Yeah,
thought kind of
WarioWare's a really cool one. Yeah, yeah.
pushes stuff, it's so
It's just
on the
unique,
nose.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's so sometimes it's almost too obvious, like, and you
Yeah.
overthink it, and then you're like, "Oh, for fuck's sake."
It's like, yeah, scratch this mate's nose, and it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
sharpen the pencil. It's such an odd little game. I love it
Yeah.
though. I love it. There's nothing like it really.
I think as well, sorry, I've gone off on one now.
No,
I
no,
think
mate,
I've
it's
opened up
alright.
the
It's fine.
floodgates.
Yeah, do it, do
Do
it.
you remember Braid?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I always remember playing that at the time and thinking, "Well, I've never played anything that
Mm.
manipulates time in a game the way that Braid did, and the puzzles were so
Yeah.
fucking clever."
Well, The Witness
Um
as well, which is Jonathan Blow's second game,
oh,
it's
I
like,
never played that.
yeah, yeah, that does crazy, that's like a crazy puzzle game basically as well.
Oh,
Yeah, same guy that made Braid.
wow. I'll have to check
Yeah,
that out. I've never played that.
yeah.
I mean,
I've got it.
there's probably so many, like,
I
when
think
you think
Journey's a
about
big one. I think Journey's
yeah,
definitely a big one, like, it was, obviously, like, Flower came out on PS3 as well, which is
mm,
the game before,
yeah, I remember
and that and
that.
that was really neat, the way you use the motion controls to, fly around the petal, and you could tell it was almost like the precursor to Journey, but Journey really felt like a proper game, even though it's like 2 hours, 3 hours. You really do feel like you go on a journey in that game, and there's no dialogue in it. It's just all the stories told through kind of
Yeah.
environments and noise and music as well. Like, the music
Oh, Austin
basically tells
Wintory.
half the story as well
I
in that game.
loved I had the best experience playing that game 'cause I had,
It's
like, a random person, like, join, like, the second half, 'cause I think I played it in 2,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
installments, and yeah, like 'cause you, like, chirp to each other, don't you?
Yeah,
And
you can just press square and it will just go ding, ding, ding. Yeah,
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 and we just and he because I thought, "Oh, he's just gonna drop in and then leave," sort of thing, but he stayed with me for, like, the end, and he would show me where you have to collect those bits so you to make your scarf
yeah.
longer, and
If
he
you
was
collect all of
like
them, you get the white, like, outfit.
yeah, because that's what he
Yeah.
had, and he was, like, showing me where to go,
Oh, that's so
and
sound, isn't it?
yeah, it was awesome, and then we just had, like at the end when you're, like, sort of flying up towards in the sky, aren't
Yeah,
you?
spiraling round the mountain, yeah.
Yeah, and I
That
just
piece of
remember
music is ridiculous as
oh, and yeah, I remember when we got to the top, we were just there for about, like, 3 minutes just chirping to each
just
other, and it was
smashing
like
square, yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and it was like, "Oh, this is so emotional, I don't wanna say bye to you because 'cause you've been, like, my little friend for, like, the last hour,
Yeah,
but we
yeah,
must
mate, definitely.
leave."
I know,
It
we
was
must
so
go. We
cool.
must go on our little journey together, and now we go away. Terrifying.
Yeah.
It's so
No,
good.
that was cool, I love that game. But yeah, I thought another one as well, actually, just thinking.
Mm,
It might not I mean, it doesn't, like, do anything super unique, but, Dead Space, with
yeah.
how you've gotta shoot the limbs to kill
No, I love
him.
that,
But that
love that,
that
yeah.
was quite, let's say unique for a horror game.
Yeah, no, I think it definitely threw a curveball, didn't it, at the norm of, it was always zombies, headshots, 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 and this was like cut off their limbs. Obviously, is the iconic scene, isn't it, in the game where it's like written in blood, and then
Mm.
on the workbench is just the plasma cutter, which is one of the coolest weapons ever in a video game. Which ironically we put a post up about, didn't we? We did our you put a post up on Instagram of illustrations you did of 5 or 6 of our favorite video game weapons, which is really cool.
Yeah.
I just love how they're like tools. You know, all the shit he uses, barring like a couple of weapons, are designed for engineering. They're not
Yeah.
supposed to be used to dismember fucking aliens. But yeah, the plasma card, when you can switch the orientation of it, so you can go for the arms, then go for the legs, and it's just so fucking cool, man. It's so
Yeah.
cool. The gravity gun as well was phenomenal.
Oh, that was so fun to use. Like, every weapon
Yeah,
as well you fire just feels like you're making an impact.
yeah, absolutely,
It's
absolutely.
so, like, so well designed.
Mm.
Yeah, there's one like the games off the top of my head, really. Trying to think if there's any others that
I mean, there's probably so many, so many. We could
yeah.
sit here and do a list about them, but it was nice to just have a quick sort of discussion about it off the back of
Is there any
you know,
more you thought of?
news. Not off the top of my head. Nah, not off the top of my head. I mean, there's so many, isn't there? Like, I could sit here and try and think of them, to be honest. But for me, it's like Nintendo are always just pushing the boundaries, even in their same IPs. They're always adding new and interesting features. Yeah, to circle back around to Tears of the Kingdom, like how can we make Breath of the Wild 2 essentially and it not be exactly the same? And they
Mm,
just added in like 3 new mechanics where you can create and explore in even crazier ways. Like there's no right way to play that game, and I love it. It's a classic. It's a classic like talk about it to your mates in the playground game. Tears of the Kingdom. Like you go, have you done that? Oh, how did you get up there? Oh, I attached a rocket to my shield and then used the paraglider, and it's like, oh, I made an elevator out of a plank of wood and some of the little. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is just so fucking good. It's
You
such a
see
good.
you see so many cool creations people have made
Yeah, yeah.
as well. Like, I always think back to how some of the situations I got myself in and how janky
Oh
I
my god,
like
the amount of times I just janked my way to victory in that game, like
yeah.
because I just was scrabbling around for shit that I could find on the floor, and
Just
I was
putting, like,
trying what
10
yeah,
wooden planks together or
and it's like, I
something.
wonder if this will work," and it's like, "Fuck me, it worked." It's like that feeling of achievement and, you know, just getting from A to B in the most mad creative way possible is yeah. I mean, yeah, should have just done a Zelda special, mate. Should have just done a Zelda special.
Anytime.
Well, I think we'll have to wrap it there because we're running out of time. But I would ask what you got coming out this week, Carly, but you haven't got a YouTube channel, so we'll just go straight to the socials, which is hey there reflect at gmail.com if you want to send us an email. Hey there reflect on Instagram and Twitter. I'm not calling it X. Other than that, that'll do us this week.
Yeah. Oh, no, I was gonna say we got our new cover as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah, we
We've had a rebrand.
got the new got the new rebrand. Lovely. Carly did a fucking excellent job, slaving away on that for weeks and weeks. Got the new Cast Reflect logo, just the new Reflect logo. I've started recording some videos on for a new series on YouTube. So good stuff, mate. It's all good stuff to look forward to. Just stick with us, be a bit patient, and you'll reap the rewards eventually. Well, that'll do us. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for joining, Carly. Thanks for
You're
subbing in,
welcome. No worries.
and we'll see you all in episode 65.
Bye.